Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough I'd like you to meet. His name is Joey Lombard. He is an offensive lineman out of South Dakota. Nice to have you on, sir.
Thanks for having me, Jim.
I'm so tempted to say Lombardi, but it's Lombard, correct?
Yeah, well, it's kind of a weird thing. Half the family still has the eye, half the family doesn't. Kind of got switched up a little bit when my relatives came to America, but no relation to Vince, unfortunately. But
I kind of figured as much, but I mean, it's nice to, at the very least, sound as if it's that way. Anyhow, Joey just wanted to meet you and allow other people to meet you with this interview. We're looking at really one of the top centers in all of FCS, but I mean, I know that there's a lot more that you bring to the table other than being a very effective center, playing in a very tough, brutal conference against some of the best competition. But Joey, let's go ahead and get after it. Introduce yourself, and we'll go from there.
yeah, my name's Joey. I grew up in Anoka, Minnesota. I played football my whole life. I grew up in a football family. My dad and my brother both played collegiately, and it's just always been my passion, always been my dream. So coming to South Dakota and getting the opportunity to start for so long here has been a real blessing, and yeah, just had a lot of opportunities to play and grow, and it's been great.
Cool. Joe, how long have you played football? Let's kind of start from the beginning.
My earliest memories are playing flag football back to like first or second grade. I think first and second grade was flag football. I remember just being a rather large kid at that age, and my parents trying to get me into tackle football a year early. From about the earliest age that I'd been able to, I was playing football, and like I said, as a football family, it was around from the earliest age, and I've played all the way up and through, and I've always been an offensive lineman, just because I've always been one of the bigger kids, but something that I fell in love with pretty early on.
I mean, that's nice to be able to say that you have that amount of experience as an offensive lineman because typically throughout a person's stages of development, they're kind of bouncing around from God knows what to everything. But nice that you have that level of experience. Again, went to Anoka High School in Minnesota. Take us back to those days. I know it's been a minute. But I have also have in my notes you did a little bit of basketball, but take me back to those days and maybe any of your fondest memories from those days.
Oh man, yeah. Growing up in Minnesota, it's a great place. It's beautiful. Lots of stuff to do outdoors. Kind of found a lot of passions for outdoor things like fishing and hiking. I think being from there is probably a reason for that. Yeah, growing up, my life was a lot of sports. Three-sport athlete growing up, playing football, basketball, and lacrosse. Um, so just countless memories there with my teammates and stuff. Um, I would say some of the best ones. Um, so my hometown is actually the Halloween capital of the world, which is our little claim to fame. And our last home game of every season is called the Pumpkin Bowl, where we play for a big trophy. And then we played against our rivals, Champlin Park, who we play for another trophy every year. In my sophomore year, kind of getting to play in probably one of the bigger high school atmospheres that I've gotten to play in, winning the game off the last second fumble recovery by a few points. Just stuff like that. Getting to play varsity football with my brother, who's 2 years older than me, and he played tight end and I played tackle. So getting the lineup next to him was always something that my family took a lot of pride in. It was always really cool for us. And then I'd say on the court, I love basketball. Obviously, just football is my sport, but I worked really hard at it, and I think we played our rivals Andover one year, and I scored 31. We won by like
Nice.
two. It was just kind of one of my premier basketball moments that I'll always hang on to.
So, hey, it's nice to have a good game. I mean, I think oftentimes like guys like yourself, who are more or less the bigger guys that have always been the big guys, and they put them out there on the basketball court, make them a center. and they're always getting the rebounds and making things relatively easy for them to just kind of go up and put the ball in there and score. So, and nice that you were able to I know use that to your benefit and have that great game. So awesome. Um,
Yeah, it was easy to take pride in rebounding. It's kind of, it's just like blocking, there's not a lot of glory and all that kind of stuff, but you find ways.
I hear you. So, coming out of high school, I'm just kind of curious because I mean, obviously, you're from Minnesota. I don't know, maybe perhaps how that recruiting was going, if it was a lot of the Missouri Valley or maybe some other surrounding universities. But how was that recruiting overall for you?
I think that recruiting out of Minnesota, uh, as a high school kid is a little more difficult than some places. There's only one major Division I program. St. Thomas was not a Division I program when I was in high school, so just having that, and then it started off with Missouri Valley schools were some of the first to reach out to me. I had a lot of Ivy League interest too, and then some of those just random East Coast schools. I had an offer from Fordham, and then kind of the Big Ten or Big 12 schools in this area, kind of the schools you look to. I always felt like I had really good tape in high school, and that the way I played the game was good enough to be recruited at a high level. I think when I showed up to camps, I wasn't very good at the combine stuff yet. Like I hadn't really trained a lot in like 40s and broad jumps and stuff like that. So I think that kind of stunted my recruiting a little bit. I think I speak for a lot of guys out in the Valley. I mean, the Valley is a great conference, and it's grown to be a real powerhouse. I think a lot of guys feel like they're probably a little bit overlooked when they get to schools like that. I felt out of high school that I was a little bit overlooked. But I think that's kind of the beauty of it, coming into South Dakota out of high school with that mentality and being able to climb the ladder. Yeah, so I received interest from, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa State, Iowa, just some of the bigger schools in the Midwest. But just being in Minnesota, there's one D1 school. You go out to the Dakotas and Iowa. I mean, Iowa has four and like half the population. So just felt like there was a bit fewer eyes on me than there should have been just because of that.
But I mean, ultimately, you land at South Dakota. So what did it for you, man? What did it for you in that program? Why did you ultimately decide to go that route?
So I committed really early. I committed before my senior season, coming out of high school. Um, the recruiting, as a lot of people know, is it's a bit of a stressful process, and um, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. There's a lot of coaches who, um, they're marketing. They're trying to put on a show to get you to go to their program, and I felt that a lot less with South Dakota. I felt that they truly wanted me, and saw an opportunity for me to go there and be a great player, and that meant a lot to me. I saw an opportunity to start early on, which was important. And then there's schools in this league that have had kind of continued success for a long time, and um, I really wanted to build something. In South Dakota, I saw an opportunity that the team was kind of having a good year, having a down year, kind of middle of the pack for a while, and I just wanted to go somewhere and build something and be a part of something special. And I really felt like I had the opportunity to do that here.
Yeah, and I feel at times South Dakota is somewhat forgotten because of the South Dakota State as well as North Dakota State really being dominant. And so what I have to say about that is this. Do not sleep on South Dakota. South Dakota has a very good program, has a lot of great athletes. And hey, you guys have one more game left to go this year, which is a statement game. And it'll be fun to watch for sure. So definitely, keep that in mind. Joey, I do want to kind of learn a little bit more about you. So, I introduced you as an offensive lineman. You had mentioned, in your high school days playing tackle. Of course, now you're playing center. Talk to me a little bit about you as a player, athlete, prospect. What do you feel separates you from a lot of other people at your position?
I would say my approach to the game. I have learned over the course of my college career. I started out probably a little less mature than I needed to be, but um, my approach to the game is extremely strict, and whether it's things like diet and rest nowadays to being in the training room, taking care of your body to how I study film, how I prepare for each game on Saturday. Um, I think that I've been able to really, really focus and be professional at that aspect. And I think it's helped me be a smart player and execute on Saturdays. The other thing is like I would like to say my work ethic. I know there's a lot of guys who are working their tails off, but um, I feel like I've done a really good job at keeping my nose to the grindstone. And I feel like when I got here, I probably wasn't as far along as a lot of the other guys who are playing at a high level at this place in this conference. But I feel like I've been able to make leaps and bounds of improvement every year, and I feel like that shows up on tape every time. So I think just my consistent just work ethic at improving the things that I know I'm not very good at or need improvement on.
Gotcha. And I know right now you're starting at center, but also you do have some snaps at guard, and you got some good size to you. So, buddy, let's start there. Just tell the people what we're looking at here. What's your current height and weight?
I'm at 6'5", 310 right now. Kind of been bouncing around between 305 and 310. I was planning on coming to the season around 305, but they asked me to be a couple pounds heavier. So that's where I'm at right now. I feel like my body has changed a lot in the last 2 years. I was a little bit on the heavier side, didn't move quite as well early in my career, and I've kind of made an emphasis to really start taking care of that, and it's paid dividends. And then yeah, I have 20 or so starts as a guard in the Valley also, and I feel like that was extremely valuable for me. But I did come here as a tackle originally, and I played a lot of tackle in high school, like you said. So I feel like I've had experience at all three spots, and it's given me a little bit of versatility. There was before I switched to center, actually, I got moved to tackle for that spring ball, and that was kind of the plan for me to switch to tackle. So I do have some college reps at it, but the center situation kind of opened up and they needed me to fill it. And I kind of stepped into that role and fell in love with it.
Yeah, and Joey, I do think that that is one of the things that does separate you from other people is that obviously, like you said, I mean, your approach to the game, the way that you have developed over the years into this player who can play multiple positions and obviously doesn't lack in size. So 6'5", 305, 310, things of that nature. I mean, hey, I mean that's big enough to play every spot on that offensive line, depending on who you ask. So certainly helps, put you in that level. Let's continue to talk about South Dakota ball. Again, I had mentioned very competitive program, lots of great athletes. Talk about some of the other people around you over the years. Who's been perhaps maybe your most impressive teammates over the years?
That's a great question. There's a few that come to mind. Take a look at some of the guys on defense. You got Jack Cochran and Brock Mogensen, guys that I battled with in practice for years and years that challenge me every day. Both of those guys are on NFL rosters right now, and they really challenged me. They're just amazing linebackers. I honestly might be a little biased, but I don't think I've played against better linebackers than them throughout my career. Then you get guys on offense. I mean, Travis Tice, the running back we got right now, he he is a Swiss Army knife. He runs the ball harder than anyone I've ever seen, but he does the little things that you don't see. like we call him an extra lineman in pass protection because he gets in there and he does a great job. And he, if you watch the tape, he's lead blocking on a lot of our big runs that that crack for 50, 60 yards. So Travis Tice has been a phenomenal running back for us. And then you take a look at some of the tight ends that I've gotten to play with. You have guys like Brett Sampson, who was a little undersized for a tight end at the next level, but I mean he could run block like a lineman and run routes and catch balls like a wide receiver. And he just played with a physicality that I don't know if I've seen from someone else. And then our current tight end, JJ Galbraith, he's very similar. He took a lot of pieces from Brett's playbook there with just being able to do it all. And he's made just play after play for us in crucial moments to help us get to where we are. So
Yeah, definitely great to shout out a lot of great talented players. Again, as I'd mentioned, some great guys there on offense and defense, and some people coming up in that program that we really need to pay attention to. Um, Joey, obviously, right now playing in the Missouri Valley. This season, you guys are currently sitting at 8-2, which is actually not bad, because your only losses, the first one was against Wisconsin, which, hey, there's no shame in losing to Wisconsin, but then the other against South Dakota State. You guys are doing pretty well overall. Again, going into the final game of the year. Talk about the highs and lows of this year, and maybe some of your other highlights that you want to share.
yeah, so this year we kind of obviously last year we had a great season, kind of surprised a lot of people, but we understood that we had a lot of room to grow still coming to this year. And we had a bit of an identity change on offense with just kind of the schemes we wanted to run and the stuff we wanted to be really good at. And, I think I speak for everyone on the team when we talk about Wisconsin. We had them on the ropes. We, one score game most of that fourth quarter, ended up losing by, I think, 14. But, we know that we if we executed the way that we know we can, we probably come out of that game with a win. And same thing with South Dakota State. I mean, yeah, we have two good losses on our team, on our record, but there's not a good loss, and we're still looking to improve everything that we didn't do right in those games. And South Dakota State, again, another team that we had on the ropes. We missed the late field goal. We kind of shot ourselves in the foot countless times. Really, a game we feel like we should have won. And looking at being 8-2 going into this last week, I think we all understand that our best ball is yet to be played, and we're really excited to have another week of practice and get a chance to go play the number one team and see where we're at. So there's countless memories from this season and just performances that we're really proud of. I mean, we've eclipsed 500 yards of offense a couple times this year and ran the ball for 300 yards a couple times, and that's stuff that we're all really proud of. I think last year we leaned in our defense a lot, and our defense, kept us in a lot of games where our offense struggled to score. And I just feel like now we're a much more complete team to where there's now a few games where, we might have leaned on the offense a little bit more. And, it just kind of gives us a feeling that we're a much more complete team moving forward. So we're really excited about it, and, just looking forward to this competition on Saturday.
Yeah, a little bit more complete. Again, you guys are very focused. Despite going up against, some of the best competition at your level. Again, we'll see, man. It is certainly a game to circle. Obviously a lot of great games going on this weekend, but that's one that we definitely need to pay attention to. Um, so obviously do want to get a chance to meet you outside of the game, but before we move to that, just kind of want to give you an opportunity to maybe I don't know, highlight some people that have really helped you along in your journey, whether it be coaches, specific teammates, maybe even people outside of football. Who has really been your biggest, I guess, most influential person that has helped you along the way?
That's a great question. I don't think I could possibly narrow it down to a person, rather a handful. You know, I've gotten the opportunity to be with a few coaches in my time here, and Coach Nady came in 2 years ago, and um, he's done an exceptional job. He's kind of just changed our whole mentality as a unit in general, and just I just think we've made leaps and bounds in the last 2 years with our approach as a unit, and that's really helped. Um, there's 6 guys that came in my freshman class and have stuck it out all this way, and all those guys have done their part one way or another. You guys like Blake Holden's a D tackle for us. He's been here with me the whole time, and I mean anyone on the team can tell you that every time we battle in camp or in spring ball, um, we've gone at it every time. And so huge credit to Blake Holden. He's pushed me my whole career, whether it's in the weight room or on the field. Just the competition that we've been able to have with each other has really pushed me. And then my family, my parents, just they've sacrificed so much to even get me to school here, and just support me throughout it all. They've been to every single game, home or road. So they've just been amazing. I've been very fortunate to have a wonderful support system with my family and friends. Um, and then lastly, I'd say did I lose there?
Go on.
Sorry.
You're good.
Lastly, I would say that the largest impact has been just taking a leap of faith. I think that, like I said, I had probably some maturity issues early on in my career, and about 2 years ago, I just took a leap of faith and started putting myself in a much better situation. And really, the work that God has done in my life has completely changed me around. When I talk about the things like work ethic and all that stuff, it's really been life changing for me. So I'd say those are the biggest influences in my life.
Awesome. I gotta give back, gotta shout out those people. They obviously have helped you along the way. And again, like I said, Joe, wanted to meet you outside of football a little bit. I'm looking at a guitar in the background. I don't know if you play, but any of your hobbies, interests, passions, if you have any special talents or something, any fun facts about yourself, other than the fact that you grew up in like Halloween, town or whatever the heck it was that you want to say. But uh, go ahead and tell a little bit something about yourself.
Yeah, so like I said, just a humongous sports fan. Love football, basketball, hockey, baseball, love them all. So those are definitely something I have to throw in for as far as my hobbies go. But I also mentioned I'm a bit of an outdoorsman. Growing up in Minnesota, we had a little camper parked up on a lake up north. We'd always go up there and hike and fish and shoot guns and all kinds of fun stuff like that. So that's stuff that to this day I still enjoy doing. I am also a huge fan of music. I do not play that guitar, but hopefully continue to learn someday, be able to play it. But I just love music. I have music on when I'm doing stuff for most of the day. I love almost every genre from the old rock, the throwbacks to a little bit of pop, and big country fan also. So just really a big fan of music. Metallica is my favorite band. So it's a bit old school, but I think they're great. So yeah, it's kind of the most interesting parts about me.
No, hey, that's good. Again, you had mentioned you're an outdoors kind of guy, a guy that you can see fishing or whatever. When you I don't know, do you fancy yourself much of a cook? Like when you get when you get this game, like do you throw it on the grill or what?
Yeah, so I probably forgot to mention that I do enjoy cooking. Kind of get
You're
it from my
an
mom.
offensive
My mom,
lineman. If you don't, then something's wrong.
right? Yeah. So my mom's a phenomenal cook, and I think I probably got the passion from her a little bit. I've started to become a little bit more of a pit master, a grill guy lately. I got a
Awesome.
pellet smoker that I've been playing around with a lot. Love doing ribs and brisket and just pork on there, just all kinds of different stuff. You can play around with it and do. I mean, you can do so much with them. So I do enjoy cooking a lot. I every Monday I have a small group of people over for dinner, and I try to make something just to, Mondays are our off days, so it's nice to kind of take a little step away from football and enjoy some time with the people you're close to. So cooking is definitely one of my passions.
Well, Joe, if I'm ever in the area, I'm gonna give you a call
Hey,
and because it sounds like the place to be for nice barbecue grill option.
most definitely.
So sounds great. Do need to wrap up our time. It's been great getting to know you on and off the football field. Again, I know we're looking at a guy who offers a lot to any NFL team. So why don't you go ahead and tell them specifically, just look into the camera, tell all those scouts what they'd be getting if they took a chance on a guy like you. So wrap things up for us.
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. And, to all the scouts and teams that are looking at me, I've kind of started at the bottom everywhere that I've went to. Out of high school, obviously coming as a freshman and, I worked up as a sophomore and started for 3 years. Became a 5-year starter here at South Dakota after starting at the bottom. And I think you're going to get a guy that will adapt to any situation and will find a way to beat any obstacle in his way. I'm going to work absolutely hard as I can and be a great locker room guy. I believe in that. The values of your team and the culture is everything. You look at some of the most successful teams in the NFL, and those are the values that they have. So, that stuff's all really important to me. And just a guy that's willing to sacrifice for the team and really give everything he has. You're gonna get a really smart football player. I spend a lot of time trying to learn defenses and really master game plans so that I can help the other linemen around me. So really everything that I have, being a physical, smart, good athlete, and a guy that really wants to build a culture somewhere.
Awesome. Again, I know we're looking at really one of the top centers at the FCS level this year, who can also play a lot of other positions too, when the opportunity is given to him. And Joe, you've done well at those positions as well. So, want to wish you all the best this weekend and beyond. Okay.
I appreciate that.
Sure. Once again, we have Joey Lombard. He is an offensive lineman out of South Dakota. Check him out.